Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a friendship tarot reading for ATEEZ members of Seonghwa and Hongjoong. It was interesting that someone actually mentioned this because I really was pretty positive that I have done a reading for them, like a dynamic reading, a friendship reading, but no, I believe I did Hongjoong with other member and Seonghwa with other member that you requested, but never them together. So let's see what the cards have to say about their bond. So let's review a bit their energies astrologically. Seonghwa is an Aries with a moon in Cancer, and I believe also his rising is possible. There's some of them that also have a rising in Cancer, and then Hongjoong, he is a Scorpio with a moon in Gemini. And I believe that probably his rising could be in Leo, or I think I read that somewhere, but I'm not sure, so I cannot confirm. I'm just going to take, their sun signs and their moon signs. So I placed Seonghwa on the left and Hongjoong on the right. So let's see how they're doing. Someone got the 8 of Wands, the 4 of Wands, and the 9 of Pentacles. So definitely it's someone that he is a true Aries. You know, sometimes I forget that Seonghwa is an Aries because he does remind me a lot of Cancer. I can see more his Cancer energy, his moon in Cancer in him, than actually his like very masculine Aries kind of straightforward energy, except when he's on stage. When he's on stage, I can definitely see that he is an Aries, but sometimes I forget that he's a fire sign, to be honest. But I see him that he started definitely this year with a lot of dynamism. You know, he definitely, there's something he wants to achieve. He has all his energy like very directed towards a goal, and he is very excited about this. So this is his passion, his fire like building inside of him. He's ready for something, and I think that he also wants to celebrate. There's something in his life that it's currently happening that he feels very in the mood of celebration. And I think that it has to do with him actually probably like doing more activities and, you know, being more in action, in movement. So I don't know if maybe he's spending time with people that he loves, or he's doing activities or hobbies that he really loves. So he's really enjoying himself in this process of, you know, turning things into reality, you know, because he is, even though there's a side of him that he's very emotional, there's also a side of him that he wants to accomplish things, you know, he wants to get his energy going, you know, he's very passionate. And then with the 9 of Pentacles, definitely I think that what he's showing me here is that his relationship with Hongjoong is a relationship where he feels the most passionate to actually be a sort of contagious, a sort of inspiration for Hongjoong. You know, he wants to also keep the energy up so Hongjoong can like absorb this and be influenced by him and his energy. So I think that he definitely is this sort of cheerleader for Hongjoong. You know, I think that he definitely feels like he needs to do something in the relationship to support Hongjoong, and also to support Hongjoong's passion, because I believe that even though Hongjoong is a Scorpio, and Scorpios are very passionate, Sometimes his passion can get a bit like run out because he tends to analyze things too much. He has a lot of things on his mind, so sometimes his fire can die down a bit, especially when he is not performing, when he is resting, or when he is in a regular routine. He tends to get worried a lot, and he tends to not being able to relax, So I think that here comes Seonghwa with all his action and with all his inspiration to uh, to take Hongjoong out of this. I think that he also wants Hongjoong to have fun more and probably not be so serious or not so worried, because I don't see actually Hongjoong being a serious person. I see that he definitely takes his job very seriously. So maybe for him to relax on a day off, or maybe in a regular environment, for him is not easy to do. So someone comes here with all this energy of passion, and also being authentic, and also being very open to celebrate. This kind of person that brings positivity. I think that the Seonghwa is this kind of messenger of seeing the positive side of things, and he really feels like he has a lot of things available. He is very proud of himself. Seonghwa is someone that he has this very natural confidence about him, and it's not that actually he feels like entitled or something like that. It's not that he's cocky, nothing like that at all. It's just this inner confidence when you know that you had put the effort, so you feel content with your involvement in things, and you are not so focused on the result that you get. You're more focused on your achievements, in your performance. I mean, in how you participated, the things you did, how you put your efforts, how you show up, how you adapted. I think that he's very, very self-aware, that he definitely gives always, or at least he tries to give always 100%, of his potential. So he doesn't have regrets about what he gives. And I think that here we're talking about work more than anything. And I think that sometimes he feels the need to encourage Hongjoong to realize that as well. Because I feel like there's a lot of course that the responsibilities are different, so this is why probably Hongjoong feels more pressured to self-examine himself all the time, and be focusing on the things that could have done better. So maybe he's a bit harsh on himself. But in the case of Seonghwa, I see him like he's ready to, have the evidence, the proofs, like the actual facts, and talk to Hongjoong and show him that. Like show him the results and be like, okay, we were able to achieve this. We had grown into this. Look what we created. Look what we made possible. So he's like, look everything that you have accomplished. Like don't get stuck in the things that you cannot change. More like concentrate on the things that you did achieve. So he is this sort of very nice influence of that he lifts your spirit. I don't know why, but he lifts your spirit up. He is this sort of, and it's not that he is like an optimistic or that he is in denial or something. It's just that someone has a very, he's very simple at heart. He knows that he's doing what he loves. He knows that he's in the right group with the right people. So he has this inner confidence, and he has this faith in his group and in his resources. He knows that things will work out at the end. And then in the case of Hongjoong, Hongjoong got the Nine of Cups, the Three of Wands, and the Strength card. So yes, Hongjoong, it's also, I think that he's starting to also connect with him feeling proud of everything they had accomplished. You know, I think that it was a tough year for him individually, I sense, because somehow he couldn't connect with being in the here and now. You know, I think that he couldn't connect with being present. He was so worried about next projects to do or next goals to achieve or things, plans to do in the future. He was so focused looking on the horizon that he lost sight of what was happening in the here and now, because he does worry about the future of the group a lot. So I think that now he's finally like thanks to this connection that he has with Seonghwa, he finally is like, oh yes, you're right. We had made a lot of dreams come true. Like we had been able to check a lot of boxes, you know, in our list of dreams to come true, you know. And I think that this is a very reassuring moment for him, and he definitely feels stronger. You know, he feels like he's slowly learning to control maybe that side of him that is a bit pessimist. You know, he does have moments where he can be really happy and outgoing, and then he have moments where he can be a bit negative about himself. You know, he's like very critical. So I think that now he's like slowly like listening to others, and he's slowly like getting rid of looking at the future. You know, I think that Honchu needs someone that he's really wise and he's really intelligent. He does have the ability to look ahead of time, you know, to look at, you know, at the future activities, future styles, future content, future music. You know, he always wants to be one step ahead. So he's always thinking about the next move. But unfortunately, what this does, this way of processing his ideas, what it does is that it makes him feel absent to celebrate what you have right now. You know, sometimes you need to stop rushing into worrying about the future, and you need to value what you have right now. You know, because it's like otherwise you will always be living in a future that doesn't exist, you know, and the past is gone, so you cannot do anything about it. You only have the present. So I think that he is sort of learning through his connection with Seonghwa to be like, okay, like I can congratulate myself, I can breathe, I can concentrate, I can allow myself to be present and be thankful for everything that we had accomplished, and for all the times that we were much more braver than we thought that we would be. You know, I definitely believe in their potentials, but I think that what he learns in his interaction with Seonghwa is to control himself a bit, you know, to control that sort of maybe moments of, you know, like really, he seems like he's always wants to be ready, or he's always wants to be working, that he just doesn't have a moment, you know, to stop a bit. You know, probably he's just sitting still, but his mind is running really fast with a lot of things that he wants to do. So he's like, oh, I have to take note of this, or I have to write this down, or I should start working on this, I should organize those. You know, he's like always like this machine, you know, because his process of thinking it works really fast, so he cannot put a stop to the way he thinks. Once he gets an idea, it starts rolling and rolling and rolling in his mind. So I think that he's learning to control this, by listening to the other members, and in this case, by listening to Seonghwa, allowing him to stop a bit, slow down, slow down. We are okay. There's no need for you to to anticipate anything. We are okay. We have everything that we need. We are okay. There's no rush here. We are here to stay. Something like this. So then the cards that came out as an overall, it's the Knight of Swords, the Temperance, and the Queen of Swords. So I did shuffle really well. But there's something about my readings, my readings that I started this week, that it's the beginning of this year, that there's a lot of swords people, swords character involved. So definitely you will see your idols display this sort of more aggressive when it comes to communication and when it comes to them being really fast and determined towards their goal. And you will see them also have these moments of honesty, of very raw honesty, of really talking about how they really feel, what they think. They will not sugarcoat things. They will be very, very blunt, a bit sharp, but they will definitely, their lyrics, their style is going to be much more mature. And it's also going to be a sort of like battle of the intellects. You in their lyrics or in the way of expression, you will hear them like definitely like defending themselves through their words. So I know probably they feel a bit on the defensive still. They feel like they need to fight. I don't know if it's people's prejudice or it's people's criticism, but there's this sense of, okay, we're not holding back this year, we're not going to be that nice, we're going to be just, we're going to be fair, we're going to be determined, and we will definitely be merciless. Yes, I think that they are definitely together in this relationship with each other. There's a lot of communication, and there's also a lot of healing through these conversations, because we have the Temperance in the middle of the night and the Queen of Swords. So definitely they have a lot of talks. They have a lot of deep conversations. I think that Seonghwa also, with that moon in Cancer of his, he is able to, to also help Hongjoong get in contact with his emotions. He probably doesn't do much, but he's just present there. He allows Hongjoong to express himself. He just lets Hongjoong talk. He just lets Hongjoong express himself the way he wants to, to tell what he wants to say. And he just sits there very patiently, being very understanding, being a true empathic, a true empath, a true partner as well. I think that he realizes that actually Hongjoong definitely needs this sort of purge of his thoughts. He has so much in his mind, but sometimes he has so much, or he just doesn't express how he really feels inside, that when someone enables that moment of connection and trust, he really lets Hongjoong speak his mind. And I think he's one of the few that can really pull this off, to be honest. And it's not because Hongjoong doesn't trust the others. It's just that for Hongjoong, it's a whole process to trust people. He's a Scorpio. So it's a process. It's not that he will just go and talk to you about what he really feels or what's really bothering him. You know, for him, you have to set a sort of mood, a sort of atmosphere for him to open up. You know, it's not something that is going to happen instantly. You know, you do have to have patience with him. And you have to be a good listener as well. So I would say that Seonghwa is this sort of therapist, you know, this sort of, he does have a sort of healing effect about him. And I would say that it's more actually, I think that it's actually Hongjoong the one that needs Seonghwa the most. And I'm not saying that the other doesn't need of the other, but what I'm saying here is that the one that is doing the most healing here is Hongjoong, because he really, for him, it's not easy to make these deep connections where he can actually open up and be himself raw, you know, with all his defects, with all his insecurities, with all his fears. He does have a lot. You know, and yes, you see him as a performer, you see him jumping, you see him smiling, you see him being mischievous, you see him being energetic, because that's his moon in Gemini, and he is this chameleon that you are like, wow, he is amazing. But behind all the laughter, behind all the words, all the wittiness, all the talent, behind all those, there's a very vulnerable individual. And he has a lot of weight on his shoulders, and I think that Seonghwa in this case, since he feels a bit more confident with who he is as a person, and he feels, it's not that Seonghwa doesn't have insecurities of his own, of course he does, but he heals himself when he heals others. Because Seonghwa, since he's a water moon, he's a moon in Cancer, it seems like his purpose in life is to give himself to others, to be of service to others. You know, so he is not, you know, he's not that troubled. You know, when he feels sensitive or when he feels vulnerable, he just expresses it. You know, because he is an Aries, he's always true to his feelings. He's always true to what he thinks, and what he says is who he is. But for Hongjoong to be a Scorpio, you know, and it's not that easy to go into the real core of what's going on, you know, because it takes a lot of work. It's the way I always advise Scorpio people or Scorpio placements. And I'm talking also about myself, that I'm a Scorpio moon. We do sometimes need therapeutic help. We do need to have counseling sessions with therapists, with psychologists, you know, these kinds of very intimate and confidential places where we can unleash what's going on with ourselves. And sometimes it takes a while, it can take years even. So, but I think that what's amazing here, it's Seonghwa's work. You know, he's sort of, it seems like he's working a sort of land, you know, like he's working with his passion, with his patience, with his spontaneity. He has this aura that is very magnetic as well. So when he's talking to you, he makes you feel special. So he has a very soothing voice, you know, he's great. He could be a counselor, he could be a therapist himself, really, because he does have this sort of, he has this, you know, he's so talented in that way. He just gets people. You know, he's that person that it doesn't matter if he doesn't totally understand what you went through. He will be there. He will be open to listen to you without judging you. So that's beautiful. So that's beautiful about their relationship, you know, the level of acceptance. So yes, guys, this is all I have for them. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I would love to hear your feedback. If maybe you had been watching their interactions and maybe you know a bit more about how they are with each other. I do follow the group. I consider myself an Atini, but I don't consume, interviews or their content. I watched their performances and their videos, and I always listen to their music, but I didn't get that deep into their content to watch them interact, So maybe if you would give me a feedback, I would appreciate it very much. But it was lovely to read for them. So thank you to the person that recommended this. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.